starts moving. But everybody's trying to make their plans and even getting some double heavy snipers in. We already saw one tick through, and now Painful goes down. His teammate Tyler trying to get away. And I think he is going to manage to do that, but not before Assault and Innocence grab from those spoils.
You talk about the mobility, that was the priority there from Assault getting in, just picking up that jump pad as well as topping off his smokes all the way up to 6. Very smart stuff in and out, making sure he doesn't get too much pressure from other duos as everyone looks for those free loot piles at the end of the game. Now we have Fernando on a mid ground there as well. Erupt Slades is here as well. We'll see what he can do. Volts and Slades might be using 2 different names amongst each other. All these players switching up their names. 2 Chens going down as they hold up the Stormline pressure from their mid-ground target layer. A lot of chuck splashes available from this duo as well. Now using Stinks, we'll see if they can play off of them or look for another angle and be pushing towards. Germ goes down from that Stink. Unfortunate there. They're going to be on a low ground layer that they're going to have to move up at any moment here before the action starts seeping in from Zone 6.
Oh, and unfortunately they're split heavily as we go up over Polar Peak. That launch pad's not going to get him all the way up. You can see Keo and Imshoots right now using those Shadow Bombs to full effect to get up the mountain. Keo unfortunately falling down and taking a little bit of storm damage, and I think that's going to be the end of him. Yes, he does fall down, and the rest of these players also trying to do it. I mean, I just saw probably 3 duos total go down right now. Devious and Frosty, Wildo and his duo as well. That's crazy.
They call Polar Peak the great filter of the Fortnite competitive scene, as it's always about, do you have that rotation, do you have the mobility, or do you have the smarts to get up with your mats? Not only that, where do you base up after that on shambles or not? We see Niddle also on the top 5 at the moment with his duo Casper, sitting not at that much white health, but that Siphon can click in, especially off of sitting in that ball, looking for that opportune moment to get the guaranteed damage and elimination to make sure he stays on top for those 8th and 9th zone big pop-off moments.
See, almost taking those opportunities out the baller right there. There's a couple players rotated directly in front of him, but for now, outlasting the rest of the server. And hey, that's a good strategy, especially, you know, with these, look how many ballers there are right now, and they are having a good time on Polar Peak because they can climb and fall as fast as they want, no matter what with those grappling.
Absolutely. Talk about insurance as well. It's awesome when there's a lot of people moving around and maybe 1 or 2 ballers, but when you have so many ballers together, you talk about the insurance behind that mobility. Niddle, the Riftico, now going to get out. Big shots coming in. Karos going down, in and out of there. A nice burger combo coming in as Niddle now goes all the way down. The mountain going to go back up if it does bounce back. Yes, it does. Moving back towards this huge high ground tarp layer. A lot of other natural ground to be mimicked and manipulated towards as well as they move up through this entire snow biome at the moment. Casper and Niddle surprisingly together as well. Very hard to stay together off of balls too when you are moving in these chaotic environments.
Unfortunately, that zone just went on the edge, so a lot of players who were going onto low ground ended up being able to just come right back up without having to go down.
Think
Casper and Niddle with the rip play, trying to take high ground. They do.
I want Assault to win.
And his teammate not just somewhere looking for sure, but they have high ground now, and that is what they need. They have the advantage. They have all the position to win this game.
This is all part of the game plan. This is Niddle's consistent strategy. He's always near zone 7 or 8 where he goes for that last minute high ground take and then just starts to trickle down. We see that in international regions. Brazil does it really well.
I want Assault.
DK, as he just goes down tarp by tarp, moving like this. Zextro getting popped. His duo Vinny going down as well as these guys are now moving towards it. Niddle bombarding the server with his positional advantage above everyone else. Metal doesn't matter when there's 2 people shooting at you at the same time. White shots coming in, a trap coming down to delay that elimination coming through from Casper as he has vertical pressure. Niddle with that horizontal pressure unfortunately did not work out. He goes down, but Casper with a quick drop down, can he capitalize off of this position that he's in on height at the moment?
A player Puffin got chucked all the way down to what looks like 1 HP there, and then I think they did end up cleaning up, but no, Casper still having high, but Assault way down below. There is so much of a height difference here. Assault could capitalize if he just looks right back in the zone and knocks out either one of these teams. I believe they're going down as Casper takes out Top Gun, and then all the way down, he just had that redeploy, so it's now Assault versus Puffin in the rift up from the top.
Come on, Assault. You got this, Assault.
He's going to take care of Puffin as he was low HP. And now in the
Yeah,
zone,
Assault's gonna win this. I'm hoping he is. Come on, Assault. I knew if he wins, I knew he was gonna win. He's so good. Oh, Assault. Assault, you got this. No, Assault! Oh my God. Assault. Come on, man.
to 8 elimination.
Casca is really good, but I expected Assault time.
When to drop down, when to stay up. Casca playing that
Use your mats, dude.
Even as a duo, making sure you're split up and covering.
Wildcats, dude.
Always got you that win at the end.
I'm already just giggling to myself right here.
So is Tim.
Man and Wildcat is the first players they're going to be hopping in with on board. With them 1 point in this game, this could be one of their first couple.
One big topic in the Fortnite community as well is the content creators versus the competitive players and their success in getting games done, getting those qualifying spots secured. Blue damage coming out from Tim. Can he see that the individual that he was shooting at, Remdog, is going to have a weakness on his left side wall? He's going to go for that blue, but
oh,
it's not enough dynamic
that sucks.
In a bad position, he gets beamed down. Pressure still coming in from Tim as he bops down on Metal Tart with his dual Wildcat. This guy's going to be showing everyone else that, hey, even though I stream Fortnite for fun a lot of the time throughout the day and make dope content, I can hang out with big dogs as well and pop off when the moment's right.
Hey, they were both at that Pro-Am, and here they're perfectly executing a pinch as they get shot a little bit, but I think they still have it. Yes! Wildcat's going to take down that player, and Tim's going to get the finish.
Doing that classic animal aspect, right wall, left wall, showdown there on that other duo that they just cleaned up in record time. Not sure where the other individual is, but it's just big pop-off moments.
So maybe they learned something at the Pro-Am, right?
Absolutely.
That high-pressure, high-stakes situation.
It's Lachlan.
They played on that stage that a lot of these players are vying and fighting to get on at the end of July.
Absolutely. Talk about high pressure. Now we're on high ground where the pressure is very different, as this is the moment where you have to capitalize. Make sure you get as many eliminations and pick up your points where you can. Because it's not only about winning games, you have to be dynamic enough to pick up on advantages, get those elim points, get a nice 50-50 split on what you're doing. You can't just be complacent and play these games bopping and Ghost is lost. Up top shooting at, oh, never mind. Can they get that beam off the sky? Yes, they do, as he comes rocketing down to the ground, landing below. We'll see who picks up that loot in just a second. One smoke grenade left for Ghost, so not that much insurance as we talked about before, but we'll see if he can make his position. It is the best one on the server.
Smoke
right
grenade.
Where the storm is going to be rotating to, and we'll see if he can pop off from that moment as well.
So here now, 6 zone starting to move. He said it was the best position possible in the server. And I just have to wonder, why is that Shio? I mean, they have the high ground, and their back is. What's going on here with Ghost and Bob?
Oh.
So in this position, as you can see, they get a nice theater widescreen 16:9 native view on the entire rest of the map.
Oh, Lachlan killed
And
Chris.
they don't have to use as many mats at all. People can rotate below them. They can follow tarps. They just are allowed to do anything they want on their own pace when you have height right behind the storm. It makes it so that the storm moves onto you. You control the pace of the game. But if you do tunnel vision like they are now, sometimes you get left behind on the storm. Snaz that Fen. This aim is ridiculous, as 2 people have now been beamed. 6 eliminations across both individuals who are still maintaining height, which is a very difficult feat from the 5th zone all the way to the end.
I don't think Boppy is gonna win.
Now waterfalls coming down. It's very, very hard to have that mat management and be able to still move forward, moving zone to moving zone, as the distances are so far. At this moment, though, we see them utilizing just 1 tarp layers. Hold her hand getting knocked by Ghost. Swervo on the low ground as well, doing a lot of work, seeing if he can survive and get up top. And just look at this big view of the map moving forward, all metal.
And Wildcat's still up in this game, so he's, you know, pushing towards those placement points and earning them as we speak right now. Moving closer to that top 10, Boppin and Ghost up on high ground. We've seen them time and time again find these opportunities.
Please sub who's ever watching, please. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Escapes from below him. Right now, again, tarping, being efficient with their materials. They're still lasting a little bit longer, but each time they get knocked out, they get reset. They have to refresh and figure out what they want to do. Not a single one of their eliminations they have gotten the spoils from, the materials to refresh up on.
Absolutely. I feel relaxed looking at this right now. It looks like these guys are just low effort aiming. The server is just moving towards them because their position is just so good.
I think Lachlan just died by Boppin.
People have to move up on. Boppin instantly seeing that and moves up. Awesome game sense there. He connects. Now they have an entire choke line on everyone else at the bottom of this side of the server. They can end the game before the 9th zone even shows itself.
And I love what they're doing here. You talked about Boppin getting that mountain, getting the connection here, but Ghost is just staying down below.
Dang.
He knows the conditions of the server. He knows it's running dry on players, so they're making sure that they maximize all of the eliminations they can get, all the potential they can get out of the server. And I think they're going to clean up here, Shio, as they take out one more in Cam. One more player for them to find.
this awesome positioning by both people spreading apart, then coming together on pinches. Now they're gonna fight together. No reason to give the individual Keen 2 1v1s and risk that win. A big tarp coming through all the match. They finally got some fruition from their eliminations. We'll see if Keen can
Ghost is lost and Boppin are gonna win.
Not possible. They're bopping, coming out with a donkey laugh. Easy claps from this duo right now. Keen's still working at it. Ghost is lost. Very awesome and smart play there, going for that last elimination point, making sure these guys have everything from this game possible. Just a perfect 5th to 9th zone height hold and awesome win at the end of the day.
And timing was everything there. They already blocked him out. You saw he tried to shadow out, but he didn't find any opportunities to get out from under that carpet that they made. It was so wide, so strong. And you know, by the time that he ran out of HP, by the time he got to go to zone, they made sure they capitalized and got that last elimination.
So I'm seeing something a little bit odd here. I see Riversen on
NA East.
The East servers. Hello.
And, you know, not with his normal partner at all. Anthony, this is a new one for week 10.
Absolutely. You talk about week 10 pressure. You know, it makes people make these not maybe drastic, but interesting choices to make sure they are on top of their game and have the most amount of chance to qualify. They're playing at their peak performance. So at the moment, Anthony and Riversen, 2 big powerhouses, solos and duos coming together. We'll see if they can use their position as a pivot point to make sure the entire server answers to them, just like we saw from the last game ball.
And Anthony is one of those players that was severely, very, very hyped going into back at TwitchCon all the way back then in last fall. It's almost a year now since then. That's pretty crazy. Think about his partner Joseph splitting up now and, you know, going with Riversen here, and Riversen obviously possibly moving to the East Coast for this.
Absolutely.
Or playing on that West Ping regardless.
Big beams coming in as we talk about playing offer utility. Bolt Glace going down to this insane Munch Wombo combo. We talk about positioning as well as Anthony stays up top, letting Riversen stay in the fray of the fight, but providing support.
Comment if you're liking
just one level above, and they have that pyramid and
the video so far, or the
for those individuals who just
stream.
went down to do anything for defense. But you know, Riversen looked as the role model of the West community. A lot of people learn a lot from watching his VODs and his streams. We'll see what he can do on East. Right now, it's still perfect stuff. Maybe he switched up for his ping as well.
Oh, High Sky's in
He's
this.
playing on 60. It looks really good.
Looks good indeed. Now moving on to another duo that definitely looks good. It's Commandment and High Sky. Commandment obviously qualifying in the first week of solos.
Okay, now I want High Sky to win.
His partner High Sky right here. I also saw in the background Snood and Thwifo, who had a very, very great performance in week 8. Snood, one of those guys who, you know, is just barely making it week after week after week. So last opportunity here, you have that rift to go. That's going to get them very far in this game.
Yeah, they actually choose, I think, to take the jump pad instead. It might have been an enemy rift. High Sky being the one who also had a very, very awesome Blackheart performance. We'll see if he can replicate that in this moment as well.
First place.
Yeah, first place. It was amazing. A lot of you that learned. We'll see if that reload might come in the way of the beam. It does, unfortunately. No damage going down as he's in brick. Has the rift and smokes as well. As Commandment now gets up with his bandages. A big shot coming off on Warrior. That's a lot of good stuff earned by High Sky there.
And you have to actually notice and take note of how he actually pulled out his rift. He was like, let's go, I'm ready for this. But then starting to, you know, realize exactly what needs to go on. Commandment gets beamed down, but he waited that last extra second to get that elimination. But thankfully for Commandment, at 1 HP, Shia, he does have the minis and the bandages to recover.
After week 6, people understood that white health is something you have to prioritize so much, especially with the storm. Will be on that bandwagon of holding that white health as for patterns when you practice and then you play again. He's very thankful for that right now, Commandment, because he has those white HPs somehow finding each other in the same box after smokes. It's so hard to locate a good path to move around in, but now Commandment looking for anything to capitalize on. Big beams coming down, 272. The entire blue shield gets broken from that low ground commando skin. Fami finally going down to the storm actually after that beam. We'll see if these actually smoke again, stick together. Balls everywhere as well. They're going to be dropping down to the low ground. This is the best option for people trying to stick together, but the riskiest after it's done because you have to now make an entire new development of your own layer, your own boxes to get enough pressure to capitalize on.
Comment if you want me to play and don't want to watch this.
Down to low ground here with High Sky.
Just comment in the chat. Just comment.
I haven't seen them swap any sort of heals or anything like that yet, but Commandment did get that siphon from the player who went down to zone, but hold on. Explode's coming in from the side. They back up together. Now Shadow's going in again. So, Shio, you've father-reviewed all these situations many, many times. Look what happened here to Commandment. Playing low ground in these situations.
Come on, High Sky,
being
let's
so
go.
risky, but also potentially rewarding as he picks up one more elimination.
The biggest thing about this zone at the moment is that although people hate on them,
oh my god. Can you stop watching my stream and just leave me alone? To be honest, just leave me alone.
We're actually going to be the ones to get the front of that force from up top. Riverside dropping down, taking a little bit of fall damage. Needs a Siphon elimination here as he does not have any white heals at the moment. A surprise box opening is now going to be realized when the pressure's coming from Riverside. We'll see if he can dynamically switch between these mat layers to get a nice vantage point or a surprise shot off on anyone. But there are so many hard maps at this point. Everyone's adapted on the rotation meta, the tunneling meta, when to have wood out, when to use brick and metal, and it's going to be so hard, especially with attack AR, to beam through these builds.
You can see him trying to open up the sightlines, trying to break through and create any sort of gap where he can find an opportunity. There does get a little bit of a shield tag, but still nothing yet. As you talked about, the hard mats being so useful for these players down on low ground. Now getting up close and personal, that's Thwifo who goes down, so Snood now left on his lonesome.
We talk about using utility. There's not much available left to crack open the server. We did see Riverson use some stinks earlier to capitalize on an elimination. High Sky now down on bottom with Bluff. These guys are going to have to fight for this entire layer. Big shots being traded. Bluff goes and gets that elimination on High Sky. TJ now falling with COD Genesis. One of the other duos left is going to be a 2v2v1. Anthony and Riverson want to crush down this entire high ground layer. Makes it very easy to pressure. No one's on ultimate low at the moment. Can Bluff call that bluff and go all the way down? COD Gen comes down to Bluff. He might get the Siphon for that as well. Give him a nice, easy picking on Anthony and Riverson, as well as they might be able to take height now. A 1v1 coming in, but Riverson representing NA East now, popping off and getting that elimination.
Switching coasts, and I think that was a perfect, opportunity to talk about their chemistry there in the last moments. That timing by Anthony and Riverson to come down right on top of all the duos, right as they all felt within each other, all of them trading shots together, and then they just come in and clean up. That's all they needed to do.
Absolutely, just stick on the same page, not one person building and one person shooting, 2 shots coming in, and a nice 1-for-2 trade there, or 2-for-1 trade, netting them the win. We now have Zofer chilling on, once again, a Polar Peak lair. Looks like every region is now having their own respective biome to play in. We saw EU with a lot of Geyser Northeast games. We'll see if the filter, the great filter, can be overcome this time as Thick Boy Uravs and 99 Zofer see if they can hold off on this pressure. The wall replaces, you're never sure how much ping your enemy has, how much you have. Ooh. A big trap placement coming in. B-Man going down, no secret there, as the whole server now knows the mistakes they've made on that push.
That was a crazy prediction there by Zofer to realize, hey, he's pressuring my roof. He maybe got a roof or two or whatever, but then realizing he's going to drop down on my wall next. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively place this trap. And he fell right into it.
The grind that these players do, Atlantis to Duo Arena to these big pro scrims, you'll be facing so many people and identifying so many patterns that sometimes it's just second nature to predict things that just work out for you all the time as well. Sheep and Famhood now on the top of Polar Peak.
Speaking of second nature, I mean, we're in the box fight era right now, so that is exactly true. As Sheep and Famhood with the high ground on Polar Peak, they're trying to control this entire thing. They're trying to control that edge, and it could be so valuable for them. No, I'm gonna go ahead and dive down.
At the moment, not Panda, not in his natural climate. Gonna get frosted over by Sheep, who's gonna survive with that big wolf fur all over his body. These misfits up top gonna make sure they're gonna do a little bit of mischievous things to the rest of the server as well. 4D, Raz, and Vorpal though, sneaky right below. Not sure if Famhood and Sheep know where they are. Famhood making sure he has some insurance just in case the zone does bounce back. It's actually looking like it is gonna go a little bit behind them. They have that prime position once again.
You just mentioned the insurance right there. What Famhood did was actually connect to the side of Polar Peak so that he makes sure, hey, Raz and Vorpal, I know you guys are down there. I know we landed on your base, but this is our real estate now. If you want to go ahead and make edit plays, no, you can't. I bought it.
The Fortnite housing market has some beef in it right now. We'll see if these guys can figure it out, up that property value. Gonna look at low ground right now. Once again, these people getting caught on the backside of zone, maybe using that rift a little bit too late, all the way up top. Postic taking an elim out on Tyler's. Tyler's now getting knocked after that. The sacrifice you make on low ground sometimes can be too much to give you any advantages as well. A stink grenade coming out on the follow-up. Axiom
perfect
gets
math. Right? He's doing it in his head right now. He knows exactly what he hit that player for. He saw the white damage come through. He did the math. He did the addition. He knows one stink is going to take you out. So perfect recognition here. They took out Painful's teammate a second ago, but no, I thought he was going to go ahead right through the back of that. It's going off the side of Polar right now, and we know who's up on top. It's still Famhood and Sheep continuing to hold that real estate.
The big thing about this Polar mountain, especially when you're playing on the side of it, is it always gives you natural ground to connect to on the mid-ground tarp layer. So that's going to be very, very important for all these teams who are going to be looking for shots above and below. Trying to shoot up from mid-ground is always a big risk because you can't get knocked down from below you, but now that can be opened up. So Sheep is being very, very meticulous about where he looks at, focusing a lot of his attention on the low ground layers because he knows that this position might be a little bit more vulnerable than usual. Big shots coming out on him, but he has a lot of shields and a rift as well, just in case things do hit the fan. We'll see if he has to use it at all, dropping in Storm to now waterfall down. Once again, dope mat management. He's going to be using one mat all the time to fall, making sure he falls diagonally to make sure he saves on a mat from a tarp switch as well, which is really, really nice. One elim amongst this duo, though, so the capitalization on points might not be there yet, but there are 20 individuals left alive, 12 duos. That first placement point comes in, and we'll see if they can get more points all the way up to the Vic Roy.
I really like what they're doing here, moving so slowly forward. Does find Raz, who was, below him all that time before, but slowly going in on the edge, really making it so that people don't realize that they're a threat, that they're up there, that they have high ground, and they're owning the game right now. Famhood still looking for those opportunities, just like you said. I think he's going to find one more as these players decide to fight. Couple in the zone. He does find KZ, but falls all the way down, unfortunately, going all the way down to 21 HP, and I already see a problem here because there's stink grenades in play, really, up on high ground.
Stink grenades in play on height is one of the most dangerous things because sometimes you can't even build higher. It's a lot worse for you at the end of the day. Wall replaces coming in. Dynamic Menace goes down. The 2-tap coming in. Very nice stuff from Sheep here. He's going to start to go down as well, but he's getting pressured from all sides at the moment. Famhood is also alive on a tick of HP right now. They're going to be looking for connects if that's possible. Famhood staying up so he doesn't get damaged at all either.
And that crazy switch, mat switch right there as he was waterfalling down with wood, and then suddenly he switches. He still had 430 wood. Switches to brick. Makes it possible for him not to get knocked down. And I'm seeing a bunch of names down here that we started with. We saw Urav's Posick, and then Bumpa and Slappy, who each week we have been coming back to, and they've been getting better and better as they've started their journey as a duo together.
Absolutely. High tier loot as well from everyone, so every shot that connects will connect hard. Clank now trying to find a way through with Posick. We'll see if they can come up. 5 eliminations up. Can they get more? The final placement points has been handed out. A shadow comes in, and he gets stopped and slapped away. Slappy gonna get eliminated at the end over there. Some edits getting misplayed from Clank. Can he make it in? 46 HP, 26 now. A lot of damage taken, gonna be detrimental towards the end of the game. Famhood actually goes down, so Sheep is left by himself. Clank jumping all the way up. Looks like he actually gets eliminated by the Storm, trying to go for an advantageous position.
Slappy actually got the elimination there because the Storm took him out, and Bumpa's still alive, so that point does connect, and they get into the top 5 as Super Evan goes down now to 1v1v1. Bumpa goes out to Godnik right there. And it's Sheep versus Godnik. Sheep on the high ground, Godnik down below, but he's in a little bit of a pickle because there's actually an iceberg in the way. He goes out in the Storm. I think he might have just taken high ground. Sheep doesn't realize where he's at. He's using the chug to heal off. He's running away from Godnik. The first time we've seen the chug splash used in that sort of manner. Running away, getting the ice on his feet on purpose, and then going right out. The chug splash. It's here, it's ready, and we're getting back to those crazy heal-offs, Shayo.
It's happening. It almost looked like a PG fight was going on, but we'll see. Go back to Zeke and see what's up with the rest of the games coming up.
I like that rhyme. I'm about that, Shy. I like you. You're a really cool guy. Man, what an insane game there coming out. The Chug Splash, man. I'm telling you, we have not seen the ceiling for this item. And people are going to continue using it to do some really fun and crazy things like that, but great for the player to identify, you know what, I can just live. I'm just going to keep just splashing the ground. I'm good.
Well, it's a great, because it's a change, right? I talked about it a little bit earlier. This fundamentally shifts kind of how those full storm closure and those heal-offs play, because usually you have to account for it. There's no insta HP. It's either a HP over time via the slope of the campfire, or you have to commit to either like procking it off, whether it's the bandage, the med kit, or sitting there and popping a shield. So now all of a sudden, when it's an insta 20 HP and it stacks up to 6 times, like you can exchange those out. So now a siphon might not be enough. And I mean, those end games, things are getting weird.
Things are getting weird. Speaking of weird, I don't know. I didn't make a great transition. But we're hanging out with Sundown.
These plays were sick. They weren't
I was going to say, yeah.
Let's get right on into it, or let's dive on in. You can see the swimming pool over there. But first, we're on board with Niddle and Casker. Now, Niddle has qualified in the solos, is able to pick up 2xe there, and then start his work from top down. He picks up a nice double here onto Zextra right away, and then he finds Vinny right afterwards. So brilliantly done from him to be relentless, chase up with this, and manages to get the wall replaced, and then pushes in and will be able to close that one out, but gets knocked there. Casker, however, held the high ground, didn't go down to contest, and is going to be able to ride this one out. You can see it's a 2v1v1, but he equalizes by picking up Top Gun and then getting the first shot and the second one, 6 HP left. We talked about the difference that could end up being it, but Ghost is lost, and Boppin didn't look lost here. They were able to put the bop on the rest of the lobby, picked up Snaz there, and this one was all about control. They're running the high ground from the entire time. They made sure they identified the threats by them, and then they picked good targets on the edge of the storm. And you can see Ghost following up right away. Virtue trying to make a move, but it wasn't enough, and Boppin is going to be able to just follow it up, and you can see them being relentless. And then Ghost, this is great. They tarp out the whole level. They know he's there, and Ghost is like, we're not going to lose. I'm 100/100. I'm going to go down. Every point matters. That one got them the 13th elim, and now we got Anthony and Riverson. So Riverson used to be the best of the West, now playing over in the East, trying to be a beast here, doing everything he can to get another qualification spot. He wants it so badly, picking up Twifo there and trying to push through. You can see pulls up with a great flank and control around the zone to get TJ, stay in it, and then recognize the shot onto Bluff at the end. Just brilliantly done. We've seen Riverson before, and now trying to do it with the new duo of Anthony in the final week. We're used to seeing him with Persecute, but let's see if it's enough to get him up here on the standings.
Here we go. Right now at the top, you've got Zayt and Saf leading with 48 points, 4 games played. But right behind them, you've got the liquid duo of 72 and Vivid. Tetra and Eclipse right behind them. And look at this, man. From top to bottom, an 8-point spread. That's, I mean, 8 points in striking distance is, you know, making it what, let's say top 5 and a few victory royales. And suddenly you're finding yourself up all the way up here. I mean, this is still really, really close.
And the one thing you have to realize, Eclipse and Tetra have already qualified. Zayt and Saf have already qualified. So right now it would be 72 hours and Vivid, Slacks and Keys, and then Assault and Innocent. But with all of these players here, we've talked about a reasonable pop-off game being about 15 points. It's a 5-win victory royale or a top 5 with 8 elims. And in duos in particular, because everyone kind of squishes together at the end, those numbers can be inflated. We've seen 20-plus point games. Yeah. We saw Stompy Tashinkin drop back-to-back 20-point games to take the top. It is still anybody's tournament for the last 3 spots. And again, this is it. After this, you're done. If you played on NA East, you can hang it up. If you're not going to New York, you get to watch with everyone else.
That's right. And again, you know, if you're seeing these players and you don't recognize them, or maybe you do, just take a moment, send them some love. They're playing their hearts out right now, trying to punch their tickets. But of course, Fortnite fam, we're ready to hop back into more games. Thank you so much, Sundown, for hanging out. We're going for a dip, so let's send it back over to Bala and Shy Wager.
Thank you, Zeke. Those eyebrows all big titans of the entire server on solos and duos. A nice, varied actually rotation coming in. A ball sticking beside a flintlock pistol like a mother deer and her fawn as these guys move around the field at the moment. A lot of mats available as well, and they keep saving these mats as well when they use this type of rotation.
I love the use of the flintlock as a rotational item. It's something that you can always basically count on finding at least one, or maybe a glider redeploy, shadows, or something. And that flintlock, hey, sometimes you have it and you're like, oh, I don't have any rotation, but it saves the day here as Dubs and Mega make their way towards the zone and almost approaching that top 25. That's not a placement threshold here in duos. It's actually still half of the server alive right now.
It's just really impressive that these guys used these many limited mats, saved the ball, and got in without taking any damage, as it's so hard to do when one player has the ball and the other player doesn't. It takes so much experience. Speaking of experience, knowing the proper sight lines and the proper builds to shoot as well is huge, as Dubs is going to be calling the shots on who to shoot at the moment. Dubs looking at boxes beside him as well that are just completing. A lot of chaos going on around him as well. A blue tack shotgun available, so he gets multiple shots in close range. It actually does out DPS the combat if you are in that box-to-box moment, and that's what he's going to be looking for, doing his patented wall replacing. It is the box fight meta. And we'll see if Mega can play that meta, as well as one duo holds while the other one pushes. Flintlocks coming in that tack. Double tapped. Ghoul goes down, now representing his name as a ghost in the server. We'll see what else these duels can do as we look at a huge aerial shot of everyone on the same layer on this mountain in the map.
Now, starting to flatten out, but we know the moving zones are coming, and we know those change things very fast. And as I was looking at those standings, I was looking and seeing what the average points are for those top places, the people who are going to be qualifying. Zayton Safet up at the top, they were averaging just slightly over 10 points a game at 46, and they had only played 4 games. Same thing with 72 and Vivid. And, you know, I have a funny story about Dubs and Mega, actually. Dubs was giving me advice on how to play in the finals. He's like, Balla, you got this. You can qualify. All you need to do is get 10 points a game. I'm like, okay, buddy. You're only one of the few people who can do that consistently.
One of the only in the world. We talk about the placements and where individuals are in these leaderboards. The first 5 games and the last 5 games, and these 5 shots coming out of Vix are so different and important as he gets that knock. When players are playing your first 5, the mentality is very different. You have some momentum, but as you move around in those leaderboards, those last 5 games, people start getting more serious. People start throwing games. Speaking about throwing things, all these bodies getting thrown in the air as everyone is on rotation at the moment as the zone just starts moving. Looks like no one's really moving that late. Rote is left behind with Zeshi as well.
And I'm already seeing the top 3 players or duos up on the leaderboard, Vivid and 72, and we saw Keys and Slacks as well down below them. Looks like Vivid is in a clutch situation right now as his teammate is already down, trying to find the player on the zip line. He heard it coming. Started to put his attention immediately on it as he tunnels forward. Again, we talk about it every single time. It's always get ahead of the zone, look back. Look for those gatekeeping shots as he sees. He opens it up, gets the stairs in, the edit comes through. Divine had no chance and no speed to realize that that was going to happen from Vivid, taking an opportunity to find that elimination.
Divine on the low ground, now being dropped down to the underworld as Vivid starts to make his way up. 72 has been eliminated, so it's all him. Only 10 mats though, so it's just him and a Dream at the moment. Now has to barrage through enemy builds with his pickaxe. Has an edit though, the last mat that was his in that box. The dynamic zipline play coming in as he does gain a little bit of height, but needs to go even higher. Balls flying all around him in the map as well. H-tag going down. Can he get the mats from that elimination? Yes, he can. 20 metal only though, as he still has to rely on his trusty pickaxe, denying a player height on that layer as well. He does have 1 launch pad and 1 mat left. Takers all the way up top with Hornet, who has qualified in solos as well. We'll see if he can replicate that and get double qualled with his dual partner as well. Kutorba dropping down a layer. We'll see if Vivid can find a way up.
Vivid doing crazy things right now. Fortunately, the zone did go back in his favor, so he doesn't have to spend too many materials as it's going downhill. And he uses the 1 piece of metal to block that shot, and now he's looking for more. He's looking to refresh. He needs to find something, possibly both of these eliminations in the storm. Yes, this is going to be the mats that he needs to refresh. Not even much, though. Every single time he finds an elimination, there's not much at all. The edit coming through, is he going to finish it off? Yes, but does he get the mats? Not really. Not really just yet, but taking the time, going back, still. Only 10 builds, really 15 builds here. Vivid, can you really do this right here with no mats from all the way back when? Clutching up, now into the top 5. He is doing this.
The big thing about getting these low ground eliminations is that everyone else is also in shambles. The big wall Barrage coming in with the flintlock, just nice knowledge about where your materials are and where the angles are to get in. Has 2 heavy snipers available as well, so he takes multiple chances at moving through. Has to move up layers though. Silent edits coming in. Big Enas as well as Frat gets flown off that flow ground as well. Vivid's just moving in ways I've never seen. Can he get that launch pad off?
No.
It might not be enough time. Vivid now going down to the zone is going to hold back as much as possible to see if the enemies were making a mistake. But that's the game. Hornet and Tinkers playing the positional game there and winning it off with all this multi-high and low ground coming out. Look at these tarps, Balla.
Yeah, this fossil is ridiculous as it goes all the way back. I mean, really, we could actually track the story of Vivid, right? He had no materials through all of this. He barely contributed to that thing, but he survived until top 2. So what a performance there from Vivid, and that's why they're up there. That's why they're in 2nd place right now.
It's always that 1 or 2 pop-off game, and it's always also about staying consistent. If Vivid and Tom keep playing that way, easily they can qualify this week 100%. We see Stinks now, the big focus of week 10. A lot of people carrying them more than normal I've seen right now in all these regions. Nice dodges from Grasha there, though. We'll see if he can move forward. Has a lot of mats available for the moment. 3 elims amongst him and his dual partner Daxter, both representing E11 Gaming. They do have that patented flintlock and redeploy combo. I think is one of the most dynamic combos in the game, as you don't have to pull out anything if you fall off from height. It's very easy to kind of manipulate where you want to be exactly with those 2 items. Granted though, they do take 2 slots.
But I mean, 2 slots, and we've seen the use of it. Actually, I don't know if we've seen it on broadcast yet, but there's starting to be a lot of innovative uses with the Flintlock and the Glider redeploy. You actually go faster, even horizontally, when you use that Flintlock and the Glider redeploy, because you shoot that Flintlock, it pushes you with the momentum, and then you're using that Glider redeploy to just carry you forward.
The biggest thing about it, too, is that you can choose when to stop and take your shots as well. We see a lot of stuff happening on low right now as well. We have Pika on the server as well.
What is this? Is West just migrating to East? What is going on? Why are you here, Pika?
Maybe
on East?
the timings of West, they thought, hey, we should get into games now, and they fell off on the East. We'll see if they can get the stuff done. There are 2 more qual spots on East compared to West, though, so maybe that's one big thing if these guys think that they can pop off.
I mean, we've seen in the past Psalm, you know, he is a West Coast player, but the first week he actually moved over to East, making sure that he gives himself the most opportunities, the most spots, and he qualified first try. He's actually even East still with his partner Symmetrical this week, so Pika taking a little bit of a note from that Psalm.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, though, this is not the first chance. This is the last chance. It's week 10, so everyone's pulling out all the tricks from the bag. No secrets here. We'll see if we get anything equivalent of an Olaf boost. We'll see if there's any secret stats happening as that door edit comes through. People now have adapted to that, though. They know that someone's coming through that door. Assault taking all his shield off when he gets onto this rotation. Only 2 minis available. We'll see if Innocence has any heals as well to supplement this duo as he gets booped a little bit of interruption there on his minis. He does have shadows available. Once again, 1 player on shadows, 1 player on the balls, and in perfect position as well as he can beam Hydra from the zone line. A nice dynamic switch onto the floor from the wall once you realize that someone was already pressuring that wall. This is just those micro decisions these players make at the last second of these shots to get that elimination when they move across the map as well. They're going to be on rotation now. We'll see when they box up and go back.
Assault getting beamed from the back, not realizing there was a player who's going to immediately realize that he's there. But I got to talk about it. We said pulling out all the stops. Assault and Innocence right here, they're sticking to the tried and true, the 1 baller strat. We've seen them do this, even dual baller all the way through from the beginning, but they just got rifted. That baller is gone now, and they have to dive. No, Innocence is still down there, actually. I misspoke. There's so many players in the sky right now, but still. So I think he still has that baller. I think it could still last a lot, but look at his HP right now, not working out just yet. Where did Assault go? Did he land nearby?
He landed on the mid-ground there, Balla, and he got right to work as Branchies, who is also on East right now, playing it up, gets a big knock down from Assault. He, as soon as he landed, even though he was split, went straight to work, started bullying Davon, who also landed with Fernando on that mid-ground, and he has this insurance, once again getting tagged up, people just predicting everything these players are doing when it comes to smokes. There's no safety available. Everyone's on their best behavior. They know all the stops they can pull to get this pressure down. Assault's now getting dynamic with it. Might not move the same way to get that shadow off, It might affect him on the amount of distance he can move, but he still has mats, 500 wood left actually, which might prove fatal near the end of the game as that wood can get shredded through, just like cheese in a grater. We'll see if he can keep it yummy though. Assault on 41 HP, needs some more food, needs some more eliminations to get that siphon off and get him back up to 100. Sees that storm line sight line as WordBro gets .exe out of the game. He's off now. 28 builds left for Assault. He doesn't get to pick up those mats. Owen and Threats owning probably the best mid-ground tarp they can have right now, but they're getting stinked off of it as there's so many people fighting for these high mid-ground layer tarps as well.
Staying on board with Assault, just great shots as he immediately realized that player was going to make an edit on him, getting the double combat shotgun shot through. And I think he wants to go for the mats, but maybe a little bit risky. Does find a med kit. Is he going to find the time to pop it? Is this the final zone? I don't think he's going to be able to do that unless he really goes for the full heal off right here. Now, down on low ground, there's still so many people left alive, Shiloh. I mean, there are 11 players total, 7 duos still remaining in this game, and it's final zone. It is time. 1 minute left in the game.
People are going to be playing super, super smart. The placements have not even gone out yet. All the points there. Still duos to get knocked down. Ape W keys get sent back to the jungle. No opportunity there for him to get any placements, unfortunately. One duo still needs to go down. Assault looking very healthy on HP and shield right now. Has a little bit more time to move through the storm. That storm taking 10 damage a second gives him about 8 to 9 seconds to move throughout without an elimination. Speaking of eliminations, Intangible goes down as Assault is now just freaking on everyone. Another shot coming in. Threats is getting eliminated. Can he keep it going? Assault has that low ground layer. It's very dangerous for the surprise factor. Davon getting that shot off, but it's not over yet. Creo and Nolan in a 1v1. Both their duos have gone down. Creo
What a
with
play!
the Superman launchpad on the height. Still has mats to answer with it as well. Starts taking the ticks of health first, but resets those ticks as Nolan has fallen under less HP. Creo with the high IQ launchpad and safety switch to stay in the storm and clinch out that game. Huge plays there. 3 eliminations. The victory royale. Creo, you can't do it better, Bella. You can't.
Creo just pulled off one of the most insane clutch launch pads I have ever seen, knowing exactly that Dusty Divot has these, kind of elevation changes. It goes up and then it goes down drastically. He knows there's builds up there. I can get up there and I can out-heal or outlast you as you have to make your way through all of that old fossil. Perfect play there from Creo, and that's why he's qualified in solos, right? So he's trying to do it now, trying to get double qualified and bring his teammate KiwiFace along with him.
We talk about qualified duos and solos. Sap and Zayt now, who also qualified for duos, are going to be looking at getting some more money and placement as well as they keep playing for these top spots for respect and practice as well. Slurp sticking on Sap. He does have a few more. They pick up an elimination. A lot of loot to work with now. Looks like they have excess mats as well. They're in zone. They could big up their base if they wanted to, make it a little bit bigger for more sightlines, or they could stay cool, calm, collected. One cool thing I see from low ground usually is if you stay a little bit more low key and then look for surprise shots where people don't expect it, that's where you can get those big picks. On height, it's always dope to, edit your walls, see if there's any advantage points, but with low ground, you usually have 1 or 2 angles, and you can get those pop-off moments there.
So Saf and Zayt, I've been doing I've seen a little bit on Zayt's Twitter about his strategies going into New York, talking about how he's trying to control his drop spot being Loot Lake. That's going to be one of the most interesting storylines in New York, being the fact that they claim Loot Lake to themselves, but we know how many duos are already dropping there. We know how many duos are already qualified in New York. So Zayt talking about, I'm trying to stop anybody else from being in there because he already has Sean and Aiden. He already has Mitra and Mongo. They're trying to claim Tilted, but they could come back to their old home the way they qualified.
The mind games from duos saying on Twitter, we might be taking this spot or that spot. The biggest theme for Worlds is going to be clashing of all these storylines. Everyone plays in their region. They know the rules, but that always gets flipped as Juxta gets flipped as well in the storm. He goes down. Easy Elam points picked up from Sap and Zayt.
Yeah, I do want to shout out real quick somebody who's been doing a lot of research on those clashes going into New York in solos. He put together all the drops. That's Arcane on Twitter. Absolutely amazing work. He just does that week in, week out. And now we really can look at a map and say, okay, we're going to see this, we're going to see that. And I can't wait for it. But you know what else I can't wait for? It's Fuzzy and Hogman. This is one of the teams that has had those, heartbreaking weeks, those heartbreaking moments, but also very positive, triumphant, because every week they're up there as Hogman picks up webs. Every single week, they're getting so close. And we saw them up on the leaderboard before, right around probably Possibly this game is fresh for us, not even realizing any of the points here. Hogman, you are crazy. He just went all the way up on high ground with the baller, and Fuzzy's doing the same too, but staggered because now, no, just barely. I thought he was going to take full high ground while Hogman fights from below. But what a crazy play there. They're all of a sudden in a really good position.
They talk about the use of ballers in competitive, but no one does it better, I think, than Hogman and Fuzzy. Hogman was the king of ballers coming in from solo. He's kind of given that knowledge to Fuzzy as well. The amount of time they can keep these ballers alive near the end of the circle. A Rift coming out now, seeing they can once again reposition. Looks like their game plan is always zone 6 and 7. Fight for that height. Use your mats then. So if the balls don't work, we'll see if the Rift to go can work. And it does almost, as Hogman gets that slow deploy, but pops off on Sean Claude from the back. We'll see if he can build up another shot coming in. The Sidewinder combat shotgun. We'll see if he can wall replace here. His enemy goes down lower towards the ground. Sean gets that elim, or Hogman gets the elim confirmed on Sean. Multi-layered high ground available as well for this duo.
Yeah, and I'm curious, okay, they are going to use the launch pad to get right back down. Actually, Fuzzy's going to go ahead and drop all the way down. He does have that glider redeploy, but one thing I'm noticing in their inventory, they have the chug splashes. We saw the play earlier from Famhood. So that is a possibility here in this game, but there's still so much to play, Shio.
The Chug Splash is one thing you can always bait and switch with. We saw that high ground PG fight about to happen, but instantaneously that heal-off came in. We'll see what these duels can do with the utility they have. Brispy going for a nice utility play as his trap gives him some fruition, but he can't capitalize on getting those mats, ammo, or weapon upgrades because these guys have to move for the storm. Sometimes you can get those high priority elims down, but you won't be able to get everything out of them except for just the points, and it might make it so that you fall behind on tempo for the rest of the game, moving on positions.
Speaking of tempo, I love how Sherry here is not, full topping all the way through, but what he is doing is placing a floor and a cone on the bottom layer and making sure that if anybody's going to go below, I can make that edit. I can open up on you.
A lot of personalized styles from a lot of people. Powbro going down. We'll see Cherry actually moving behind his builds as his duo stays up. This is huge. 6 duos left alive now. 1 more placement point left. We'll see who's allowed to play and who is not going to get any placement points from this point onwards. Hogman on the high ground with Fuzzy, who's trying to wall replace. Once again, this genius type of split on height where one person, one target, so the other one goes and does the dirty work. Fuzzy in a dirty situation, but Hogman cleans it up. Very nice stuff there as they get that elim down. Big points available as well for these duels if they can keep getting these elims over and over again.
And I love how they collapsed directly on that player. As soon as they got both the cone and the floor, that player started full sending on them. They both came down and made sure that they would handle this, but making sure that they're also getting that victory royale. They're slowing down, splitting the materials, knowing exactly where that LXRI duo is going to be, but Fuzzy goes down. It's now all up to Hogman, maybe opening a little bit preemptively there, but it's still top 3 situation. They've earned all the placement points. Hogman's going to get revenge onto Cherry. There's still 1 more down below, but he has no mats. Just fine. The Siphon mats right there, that's going to allow him to stay up just for a little bit longer. Using the Chug Splash. Not yet using that slurp, but he sees an opportunity, does get a couple shots. Now it's a 1v1 down on low ground. Hogman can take his time or go full send, get the elimination. Yes, onto Brispy, and then finally onto Lotus. Hogman and Fuzzy take the victory royale with 20 points.
Options, options, options. Zeke, what do you think about all this, man? How is this stuff getting so insane and more ramped up over and over again?
We knew for a while now that Hogmans and Fuzzy had it, and right then they just put all the pieces together. A massive 20-point game. Let's go.
Fuzzy Wuzzy doesn't care. Fuzzy Wuzzy will take all your points away and qualify for the World Cup. That should have rhymed. I apologize.
Sundown has long hair. There's the rhyme.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about some dope clips that you pulled for us.
Yes, let's take a look at some of the individual efforts that are coming out. I know it's Duos Week, but right now these guys are putting their partner on their back. First, you can see Vivid, no mats, no partner, no problem. Picks up the first elim, then immediately gets the knock onto a rough. He gets the bare minimum of mats there, a little bit more, 18, and he's able to convert it into more. Gets the immediate pickaxe and then finds out GG's only Rig Earth, not enough there. Frags his way into the top 10, and then he's still going. We hopped on board with him. He was at 2 elims, no mats, no partner. Now all of a sudden, 6 elims, 75 mats, has control of the mid-tarp, gets himself into that top 5 situation, almost single-handedly. Brilliantly done from the week 1 qualifier. It was a great effort and another great individual effort out of Assaults here. Drops down, puts the drum gun at mid-range to work, picking up branches, and then gets the upgrade to that legendary combat, and then he's gonna go to town with it. Finds Wordbro on the quick rotation through, and then doesn't let up, still picking people up inside the top 10 and sticking with it. This is how Innocence and Assault have made their plays. They've done it by fragging out and getting the elims, trying to be the only full controller duo. Shout out to Wolfies being the second controller player to make it so far to the Fortnite World Cup for the duos, and Assault just running down the low ground here. And again, this has been all without Innocence. We hopped on board. He was only on the 2 elims. He's able to get 5, 6 now, and then get himself into the top 5 as well. Just a brilliantly done play. And will the individual efforts be enough? Speaking of an individual effort, Creo with the nuts launchpad up onto the high ground, and then watch how he stays in the storm. We talk about every single interaction mattering, sometimes not even the interaction mattering, every single second, and just having 1 more second in the zone. He knows when it goes to full close, he's ready to challenge out. Brilliantly done, trying to get Lazarus a duo spot as well as their solo spot. Let's take a look at the standings so far, and it's Slackies and Keys right now in the top spot, 57 points. The Young Calculator and Macwood just behind them with 56, and then Aroa and NPen currently in 3rd at 55. The spread starting to get there now, 9 points, but again, it is anybody's match, Zeke. It is anybody's tournament, anybody's day. All of these guys have been so close, and this is really a who's who of NA East for competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really big names here. Again, there's only the 3 spots in NA East, so a lot of these guys are going to look to bring their A game heading into these last few matches. I mean, when you look at even Calculator and Macwood, right, they've got the 7 games played. That's a lot with very little margin of error there, so gotta hope they come up with some really big games. But Fortnite fan, we appreciate, of course, you guys for hanging out with us, sticking around for Fortnite, all the Fortnite action. But for now, we're gonna go to break. I know. Just get up, go get yourself a snack, use the restroom, come back. We'll have more Fortnite action. Don't go too far.
Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and numbs. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with brunch. Red juices, a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and numbs. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and numbs. What's up, Fortnite fam?
Today, we're going to be playing for $3 million for charity, folks, and it is going to be an incredible time.
50 of your favorite Fortnite personalities will be paired up with 50 celebrities put on this fantastic stage.
It's going to be awesome. It's duos, so we've seen it before at the Pro-Am last year, and it's always a blast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
The first match of the Summer Block Party Pro-Am is beginning right now.
They're putting down pressure. No one's safe now. That's 1 elim right there. Can he get a second? That is going to get followed up.
Because he desperately needs materials. A player behind, 102 to the face. Look at this, he's just waiting for a full send. It's Symphony. He shuts him down. It's a 1v1. Who is the other player that's left? Oh! Here it is. He's going to go with the X. Oh! Airwalks.
Wow. Dude, that was aggressive. Look at him go here. Just beating down players. No weapons. Doesn't even need them.
Wants this. Look at this. Aiden's just supplying pressure.
Oh, tries to go to the high ground.
This might have been a mistake. This is Aiden. We're talking about more damage. Bucky's down to nothing. And Aiden, victory royale.
Ball, it doesn't connect with the shot. Marshall Lynch hits 75 blue.
One great shot connects up, comes up over top. It's a second right there, and the Rift goes out.
Oh, she's on the run. She's chasing it down.
You're not gonna let this one go away. Oh no, no, you know you're a solo. No turning back now.
35 wide on that damage there, and Ewok got the target. One build remaining, and that's it. He's gonna land in front of him, and typical gamer. Final game. Typical gamer pops up behind Janina. Oh, the rage. At this point in time, not looking the best when it comes to that. Oh no!
Final moments, Golden Boy.
This is it right here, the 1v1. It's going to be Aiden going up against Symphony, pushing forward, forcing the activity. Oh! Symphony with the victory royale. Your winner of the second Fortnite Pro-Am is RL Grime and Ewok.
I'm a big fan of competitive Fortnite and watching it, so this has been really cool to be involved with.
That was easy, actually.
Easy peasy.
Welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. We are in our last week, and we are knee-deep in the action in NA East. So let's get right back in the action. I mean, we're seeing crazy storylines right now. So many names are fighting for that top of the leaderboard. We just saw Hogman and Fuzzy clutch up big time. We see names like 72 Hours and Vivid, Aspect and Animal. They're all pushing the top of the leaderboard. So let's get right back into it. Gentlemen, I have Sundown and I have Zeke. Guys, take it away.
Boom. The original duo returns again.
You know us, you probably don't like us, but we're ready to get into the matches. NA East is on its way.
Speak for yourself.
Week 10 going. I know everybody loves you, but
I was going to say everyone hates me.
Appreciating humor. The games are ready. Let's get into it. The back third of NA East. These are going to be the final, not quite the final match. We still got a little bit to go. We still got a little bit of leaderboard to work through, but we're getting down to the wire in terms of the spot. Brazil is getting down there as well. We'll have those results when they're final, but only 5 spots left. And the Fortnite World Cup solos are done, and this will be the end of the duos as Bugga gets sent back to lobby right away. No wall replacement going on there, just a straight shot to the grill from Exis and Cease.
Well, you know, this is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But don't forget, guys, those thresholds, all right? Top 15, top 10, top 5 in the victory hour, the placement thresholds. Every elimination is a point. Very simple to remember. We're back in that dual format, and just like Sundown says, this is it. You know, this is the final opportunity for these players to punch their ticket to the finals in New York City. Don't forget that it's July 26th through the 28th. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars. We're going to be hanging out, having a great time, and watching some of the most competitive Fortnite we've ever seen in our entire lives right now. Aroa, looks like some people are trying to just be up in his airspace. He's not favoring it right now. He sends some shots out. Nothing's quite connected yet, Sundown, but I think it's fun that we're all hanging out with our little slidey feets.
I really, really dislike. So I actually like box fights more when I have ice on my feet, because for some reason I've actually, like, I went back and looked, I win a higher percentage of them. I don't know if it's just because of the chaos or it throws my opponents off more, but in terms of rotating and all that, just absolutely dislike it. But Aroa and NPen getting pushed on by Destroy and his partner. Destroy will end up being converted over, but he's trying to disengage over. He knows Destroy is going to end up being picked up, is going for the revive on NPen right now as RJX pushes in, trying to get over towards his partner, but not going to be able to do it. As Frost and Devious keep putting pressure on him, Baldi-sama is directly above them as well. No shotgun in sight, Zeke.
That's probably why he's not taking this fight. He could easily get in that box, but I mean, if you're going to put an infantry rifle to work in that close range, you're probably not going to hit the shots, especially with a shallow magazine there. You probably just don't want to be taking those fights.
Well, it's so close range, it's not horrible, right? 44 to the chest, and then you have the 88 afterward. Oh my God! He uses it, he pushes it in the box, and he finds it. The back-to-back headshots. Dini gets sent down right away, and now Baldi knows he has that wall. He's trying to find the shot. Can he find it? No, instead gets ripped up into the sky. He's like, all right, I'll take a free rotation. Would have liked the shotgun, but a rotation will be nice, as you can now check out the backside of the storm. Ricardini, Assassin, FA Mark, Dodo Crunchy, and Orbi all trying to make it over to that launch pad. Diego and Aiden just rotating on the low ground. The SH boys trying to find some room. No utility insight and hurting on Matt so far.
So you know what I've discovered is that I guess these players can just somehow hear me. So every time I say something that doesn't seem plausible, they just say, Zeke, hold my slurp juice. Watch this. So that's why I basically said that. I was like, there's no way. Oh. And, you know, I was wrong. Niddle there picked up, though, and of course he's going to be confirmed there because that's going to keep Aiden alive. That extra siphon going to make the difference.
And then the storm actually moving back over across from him when he's in kind of a tough position from the metal. Will now have to rotate away, but isn't going to be forced out. And with just above 70 effective HP, that's going to be huge. Got to chuck out the stinks to try and get whatever ticks he can. Those players are all super low, and he drops down. He gets Cameron in JG. Can he find the other player? Casker gets ticked over as well. That's one, that's two. He gets the knock there. He needs to find the conversion. Can he find the siphon? He did. 49. He needs to find the zone, though. 1, 2, 3. You can't miss the power point. Oh! The siphon again. That was his knock, which means he gets into the zone. 19 HP. And Jezel TTV takes him down. Give him a follow there, as Psalm and Symmetrical are the only ones up on the high ground. The rest of the lobby is going to have to go up against Old Man Mountain as Aspect begins his climb. So does Exus. Tendons and Nolan's directly behind him as we're closing in on the top 10. Z-Laner picks up Funded, and Nolan actually gets a knock onto Psalm, which I'm assuming is from knocking out the high ground. So I'm not sure anybody's up there. Yep, high ground is now gone. Aspect and Animal own it.
12 players, 8 duos, top 5 is the next threshold. You've got a player down below using that campfire, trying to keep themselves alive right now in Aspect. And you know, his dual partner Animal, like you said, they've got the high ground advantage. This is huge. It depends on where we're going, but look at Animal's HP. Bottom left right now, critical condition. Laner there is going to be picked up, and on 106 over on the dome of that player. Aspect only gets traded out for 38.
He wants to go aggro on him. He knows where that player is, knows he's on the backside. He's looking to find it. How deep did he disengage down? Can I go find it? As Symmetrical picks up Bambi for Pyronic, and we're going to have our top 5. So now it's Stony and Crunchy on the low ground. Tendons and Forwards on the tarp beneath. Aspect and Animal on ultimate high. Tendons and Nolan are in your bottom right-hand corner. Aspect and Animal in the top right. You can see all the rest of the action on the left-hand side as Stony does end up actually forcing down Nolan. Tendons goes to try and challenge, is able to find it, and then Stony gets knocked as well. But the high ground's going to be the difference as Tendons is doing everything he can to remain in the zone, and he found it, 10 HP, but it's not going to matter. Aspect picks it up. That's the 4 elims plus the victory route, 14 points going over, pushing them up to 53. That's why they were up there on the leaderboard. The favorites coming in after all the warm-ups kind of fell off, but Aspect has been rolling, and they're trying to make it again. This is week 10. Oceania is done. Asia is done. Europe is done. And we're in the back half of NA East. It is time to put up or stay at home. The trips to New York City are on the line, and Bizzle and Demo want to be there together. Of course, Bizzle qualifying in week 1, but he wants to be playing with Demo on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to try and get your dual partner into the finals, right? This is going to be one of the most insane events I think, ever, right? And if you're Ghost Bizzle, who's already qualified, you're thinking, I've got to try and get my dual partner there, Demo. We've got to make it there. And, you know, they've come close. They haven't put it together yet, but...
I think they came probably about as close as any other guys. I've told the story a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
And I think it was week 4 or week 6. No, it was week 6. There was one Shadow Bomb rotation when they were in 16th place, where they popped the window and 2 guys were staring at them, just waiting for the door to come out, and they both got lasered, and a half second later, somebody else went down. So that would have been the points. That would have been enough to push them over the top. And that's when we talk about every little moment mattering, every decision sometimes being the difference. That is the prime example. But Virus QT does get picked up, and Bizzle and Demo are going to look to make a case here. Kind of hurting in terms of utility, but positional-wise, not in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, ammo is looking pretty sparse, right? Just a mag and a half in the AR there, a few rounds to the flintlock, a few slugs there for the combat, not much in the way to work with. Look on the other side, though. Vivid. He is 2 boxes away. Now, 72 is in critical condition. Take a look, and look at this, 5 total builds.
No shields on either of them. Like, they have less than 100 effective HP. They do have a rift, but you don't want to go skyward unless you're going late, and it can guarantee you placements. But you also don't want to be caught out in an awkward rotation here. They can't afford to tarp. You either have to go right away, or it goes super late and just pray nobody looks in your direction, which for somebody, they're sitting on 50 points. Can he find 1, 2, 3? But the 16 isn't going to be enough. They desperately needed it, but now attention is drawn their way. 72 is going over. You see the combat swiveling towards them. It's Lotus directly above, Predator on the backside, and they're going to go late. They're going to go late, and they're going to pop and just hang out and hope nobody looks skyward, because 1 AR bullet will drop 72, 2 will drop Vivid, but right now everyone else is worried about rotating. And there it goes, skyward, and he knows it's white. All of a sudden, Vivid goes straight.
Oh my God!
Box, can he find it?
Oh!
Mateos gets dropped. That could be the difference. They have all the mats. They have the mid-tarp. They need to drop down and get more, though. They need the campfire. They need all the resources. You see, on the right, Vivid is down. You have to cover your sides. Vivid is down. 72 has to clutch up, but he's taking ticks. He's over in the storm. You can see him there, dead middle of your screen, and he is down outside of the top 15. But look in the bottom left, Ninja in reverse still up. Bizzle and Demo, Artsy and Midas, Sean Claude in the middle as well. And hello, Burst SMG, first time I think we've seen that. All cast, Bizzle puts it to work right there.
Every single weapon, every single form of utility, everything in the hands of these players that are playing the top 0.01% will be lethal.
I mean, Bizzle doesn't even need to use weapons sometimes to be successful. We've seen him, you know what, I'll give him a shout out for the memery, but like, in the end, it's really impressive doing that. You don't expose yourself to risk, but the fact that he's still going out and trying to make plays with the impulses and the turrets, like, that's when you know somebody's on another level for the solos competition. But Cartier Cole and Cartier Chris looking skyward, drops everyone, and he turns back. Cool guys don't look at explosions as 1-2 tick over right there. Really heads up play.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get the materials and ammo, but still, 2 eliminations, 2 points on the board, and pushes them into top 15. You'll like to see it. The lobby is going to continue thinning out. Now, keep in mind, top 10 is that next placement threshold. That's where their next aim is. You've got someone up in the sky trying to challenge Germ. I'm so sorry. You have been eliminated.
Hogman goes down, but was inside the top 10, so he got the 5 points. Bizzle and Demo are still up as well on the mid-part, as shots are raining down.
No, Ghost Demo died, and Ghost Bizzle.
Both go down outside the top 5. No more points there.
Oh.
And now, Janik picks up dives. Our top 10 is our top 5 as Cherish is inside of it. Reverse and Ninja still on the low.
Ninja's gonna lose. He's doo-doo.
Ninja's in your bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right. Janik and Stowe on the mid-tarp.
If Ninja wins, I'm gonna be so upset.
RPGs are coming out. Can they catch it? They catch it right away. Player gets dropped down. Ninja reverse, make quick work of him, but then Ninja catches the rocket right on his face. Can he find some time? Watch Ninja in the bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right now. You can see reverse trying to get an angle to support him. Cole has got the RPG reloaded, begins to work top down. Ninja continuing to tarp himself.
Ninja's gonna lose.
No. Reverse went to the sky. Are they gonna look up while Ninja tries to get them distracted? Now they're looking downward as Ninja is distracting. This is the split from reverse. Gets blasted out of the sky. Interesting call as reverse now gets dropped to Ninja. Make the play. The clutch is on him. Gets cracked back 17 HP, but now he has the high ground with shadows. Needs to pop minis if he can get the room. A siphon would be huge, and it's not going to happen. Chris and Cole shut down Reverse and Ninja. 8 elims in the victory royale, pushing them up to 45 points.
Man, that was, you know, I respect the play for sure, but hindsight is 20/20. That's all I'm going to say about that. Next game, here we go. You got E11 Heart there in the center screen, 33 players, 19 duos remain. So we're pushing the very stretches here of the lobbies. You know, more often in finals day, we've seen dense lobbies, upwards of 50 people, upwards of 30 duos remaining, and that is not the case because today is the difference. Today is your opportunity to qualify for finals in New York City, and that's all these players have worked for. 10 weeks, they put it all on the line, giving everything they've had, and they're looking to make the difference today.
As BHEGS gets some great shots out there, BHEGS being known as one of the players who actually played across region a ton pre-World Cup when that was allowed, and he won money over in Europe, actually multiple times. Just a really good kind of high execution style player. First time I've seen him with Heart, so really interested, but they're up at 51 points. Like, they're challenging and they're within striking distance. And also, like, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all of the players who played and competed. Thank you so much from like the bottom of my heart, being able to cast this, analyze this, work on this show, watch you guys develop and continue to grow and do such cool, awesome gameplay stuff, and continuing to push the limits of Fortnite and grinding it out, whether it's the practice or every single one of these tournament windows, playing through holidays, getting the support of your family and your friends, and pouring all of your heart and soul into this. It means genuinely the world to me, and it is so much fun to watch you guys just push this game to its very limit. So thank you for making our job just so awesome and so easy as we're into the final moments of NA East. Less than 45 minutes on these queues. Again, you get 3 hours or 10 matches, whichever comes first, and then you are done. So 40 minutes left to queue, and then the World Cup experience is over for those in the East.
That's right, and the next step would be the World Cup Finals. But here we go, man. Hopping in, you see Keys on and Slacks. Looks like the HP is okay, but let's take a look at that loadout. It's looking pretty good. I'd be curious to see what Keys has, because Slacks is pretty stacked. Like, obviously, if he had like 3 more Shadow Bombs, an extra 2 rifts, or an extra rift, excuse me, to have 2, that'd be great. But even Keys' loadout's not bad either.
Yeah, lots of rotation. They're going to look to play safe here. They see everyone around them rifting over. The pressure plant rotation is not necessarily a fun one. And I know there's also kind of a general, I want to say conspiracy theory, where the circles are forced to go over mountains or changes in verticality. I can 100% confirm that is not true. The way the kind of like the storm works, there's a minimum and maximum distance for how far it can move from the current circle, and that's it. There's no like predetermined path or all that, so I will just absolutely eliminate that conspiracy theory. But now Slacks is trying to eliminate his opponent in the box. Hello? Ezreal gets added in, and the fact is they're wearing the exact same skin as well, and so is the other duo. Might have been a moment of confusion there. That's what can happen, but a brilliant pickup from Slacks and Keys, who are trying to make their push for qualification. That elim gets them into the top 15 as well. 8 elims, 11 points so far from this match, and Keys is looking to do everything they can. We've seen them, Zeke. They're at the top, and they keep it up.
Just having the same skin is probably what made the difference, because you saw the player for a moment react and maybe take a shot, and they were like, oh, wait, not the...
The vertical ceiling trap is so good because the stair got put in the place, but you're only going to block it if you're on the lower side of it. Knew they'd both been on that and just was able to wiggle past the shots into the other box. His teammate editing that one at his back. That's what good duos do.
Now Cross, I mean, his duo is gone. That's it. He's by himself. But look, he's trying to make at least top 10 at minimum. There you go. He's held on. He's now in top 5.
Yeah, the Dominican.
Or top 10.
Saturno being picked up. We saw him in the winter route trying to represent, but Vizitel gets picked up, and BHEGS up on the high ground, completely uncontested. So the guys you want to keep your eyes on right now are BHEGS and then Slacks and Keys. They're the ones who are trying to make a push for qualification. What happens to them is what matters here. All the rest of the players playing for their shot at the prize money, but those duos are in contention for a World Cup spot. BHEGS picks up Snappy on the high ground. Jaw is able to get Stainless, and Cross is trying to find some sides. Drags gets picked up as well. The top 5 is going to be huge. Knock comes through because of the stink, and we get close to that top 5.
There it is. Top 5 has been achieved. Now look at this. We are moving. There's only a single duo left in this lobby. Everyone else is a solo rider. Another person has been eliminated. Look at this. Cross is just trying to cross up these players, finding the elimination. That's Keys.
Yeah,
he shuts him down.
Slacks and Keys were the last duo, but Keys is now knocked into straight solos competition from here.
All coming down to the wire. Look at Cross's HP, though. He can top back up to 100 shield, but his HP is going to make the difference. You see HK down below. He immediately gets picked up. Again, like Sundown talked about, Beggs and Slacks. These are the 2 players to keep your eyes on, and that is they are 2 of the 3 players left. Cross is the meat in this sandwich right now. He does not want to be here. Beggs has all of the HP advantage in the world. And now look at this. Cross, he knows Slacks is close. He doesn't know how much HP he's on. He knows Beggs is up top, keeping him pinned down. And look at Slacks is trying to close
Slacks
it out.
has no mats. Slacks has absolutely no mats. Watch how he's walking around. He has nothing. He's just running through the open. B-Hegs just lasered him right there. Cross needs to get the edit on him, and he does. Cross will pick that up. B-Hegs should be able to close this out because Cross is on no mats now. B-Hegs needs to get it, and he does. Gets the elim, gets the victory royale. 65 points for B-Hegs and Hart. That's what I'm talking about. Keys and Slacks, those are the moments. Cross getting the elim and B-Hegs closing it out. If the Keys and Slacks are able to get that, that could be the difference. But with every single interaction mattering, these are the exact moments, the ones that will impact who is sitting there, and we're gonna get right into a next match. You can see Lavish, Vivid, 72 hours, Ninja, Reverse, pick whoever you want. 53 points right now for the Liquid duo. Make it 54 once they convert onto C-Leo. There is no quad crasher flying in this zone around Vivid in 72. No flight zone. They'll swat you down.
Man, look at where we are, man. Gus, it depends on where we go from here. The effective play space is going to get very funky very, very quickly. You can see, if you're looking in the bottom right, there's already some of that blue area. Remember, that's the edge of the mountain. So that space, you could build off the side of the mountain, but you don't want to be doing that.
When in doubt, throw a grenade. Golden Boy is so proud. He got another one. That's a double for him. 5 eliminations. Now, the question is, can they loot Goblin it? Can they get all of that? Because they saw other Splodes go to it. Bizzle had been pouring in Splodes. They want to get all of this because this is 3 teams worth of loot on the side of the zone. They have literally can open a whole, anything. Like, everything is wholesale. You want medkits, you want shields, you want ammo, you want mats. The Liquid Boys got it right now.
This is going to just, like, absolutely increase their potential winning this game, right? They've got it all. Their loadout is looking so good, and now with that Rift to go, all the upgrades. You've got a combat shotgun right there sitting outside. I hope that they've potentially picked that up.
They're both already rocking them. Like, you can tell. They was like, people complain about, come on, you got combats laying everywhere. These guys will leave. What do you mean they need them? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that.
No, I'm not funny. It's fun. But now you can see what they want to do is they are on the far side of this zone. They're not really sure where players are, but they're actually, if you look in the bottom right-hand side, there's about 3 duos in between them and the zone. So they're going to opt for an early launch pad, but they're so far away, it's not really going to give them as much distance as they hope. Maybe getting to 50-50, but they're still going to have to vertical up. You can see Vivid on the left-hand side getting ripped as Ninja is now trying to 90 his way upwards / double ramp, but he's getting ripped. Hey, Shadow Bombs, Rift. Don't hold on to him. It's not worth taking all the chip. Pop a shadow, get over, get safe. We've seen it before. Oh, no, got the chugs going up, and yep, they're just going to up. Well, they're so close. You can see in the bottom right,
they
desperately want to build in. They don't want to burn it right now, but they use so much of those resources. I think it would have been worth a shadow. But now look at that stack right there. Demo, Bizzle, Chap, Poach, Ninja, Reverse, Instinctual on that side. That is one heck of a side of a mountain.
There is just so many high-profile players that we have seen. And now, look, like you said, man, now they have to burn things like the Slurp, right? I completely agree. They probably should have used the Rift. But, like, it's better to use it than lose it, you know?
As long as they had enough to get themselves back up, not losing the effective HP, like, they're going to be fine. They have a good side of the zone. It's worth holding the material for there. It's just, you get a critical mass point, right? Like, if Ninja gets one more headshot on him, somebody's going to pour a stick grenade at him, or they're going to spend more resources. As now he's trying to find Chap. He gets the knock. That was a 36 and a 72 with a little bit of fall damage. Will they be able to aggress right there? That's Chap and Poach trying to get out. They also have priority on the zone. If you look in the bottom right, the entire lobby has to rotate past Ninja and Reverse.
Here we
go.
And
they have the Rift, and here it goes. You can see the side of the racetrack, better known as Gus, because, you know, it spells out G-U-S.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of people that didn't know that. Welcome. Now you know. But here we go. The rotations begin. And so now this is, like you said, Reverse and Ninja, they just got to sit here, wait for people to make mistakes, like that person in the ball, or just start cracking and attacking the resources they have, whether that be HP, shields, rifts, materials, the likes.
They need elims. They need elims to catch up right now. They need a big game. They need big shots, and that's what Ninja is capable of. You see the number of rifle rounds he's putting in, but not quite connecting onto eliminations is going to end up being a big factor because they need all the points if they want to be in New York City. They don't care about anything else. They want to be on that stage. Reverse will already be there, but Ninja wants to own it as well as Luke gets picked up. They're going to make the effort here. They're in a prime position to do it. Side of the zone, still have a Shadow Bomb apiece and the Rift as we're closing in on top 15.
And Poach goes down just outside of that top 15 range, so no placement points. Hopefully his dual partner is still alive. We got to hope right now.
Yeah, Chap is still in. Chap is still in.
Yeah, okay. So now, I mean, Ninja is a laser beam, right? If he gets set up, he's going to just shut people out, right? He's going to rip them to shreds just like that. Finds another one. He just needs the positioning. Now he's going to start rotating the Rift. Perfect. Yes, I love this.
Well, because they don't need to worry about getting caught in that fracas right there. The number of players who made it out of that, it doesn't matter how good you are. Out of the 5 duos who were in that situation, 2 made it out. 1 rifted, the other 2 shadow bombed, right? Everyone else got picked up. So using that utility in that circumstance to get another opportunity is fine. Proximity launcher into the common tack from Demo, and the Ghost Boys get themselves into the top 10 as well. They're making a push for it. 50 points, 5 elims, 5 placement points so far. Proximity grenade launcher is out from Bizzle. It's fantastic. It's basically a guaranteed 70 chip right now, and they're looking for it. Demo trying to find whatever angle he can, pushing through. Top 5 is the next place in threshold. Arsley drops down directly in front of boxes, go out, and a great combo shot. That is teamwork if I've ever seen it from Bizzle and Demo, and the Ghost Boys are now into the top 5.
9 players left. They could very well push for this victory royale. Vivid gets picked up, and look who's on the high ground. Reverse and Ninja, they're still here. Oh no! He gets cracked there, and look, DMO is down as well. But it's okay. Bizzle has been in situations like this. Now the question is, what are Ninja and Reverse going to do? They get cracked, and look,
the proximity launcher is going huge. He just got 1. Oh no! Reverse dropped down, and he challenged it. That was so good. So much happened so fast. Okay, so Bizzle was trying to put the proximity launchers up towards the high ground. He got 2 different 70 ticks, but they were on 2 separate targets. So Ninja just stayed up while Reverse dropped down. The pints came through, but they were able to close out. Just such a good finish out there from Reverse and Ninja, clawing their way back into contention. Let's throw it back in the studio to Bala, because I am way too excited right now.
Hey, we're all excited, Sundown. What a crazy game. I mean, we already knew that 72 Hours and Vivid were in contention, but 2 more teams adding their names to the list of people who are fighting for that spot in New York. I'm joined by Shia. We're going to go ahead and get through some of the action that we just saw and break it down. Shia, what you got for me?
Absolutely. We got a few plays here from different angles, multiple different things happening. Vivid on that desperation jump pad. Going to be looking over, looking down, seeing and placing his pivot spots on where he wants to look. Height kind of pressures him to go down, finds out that someone's not building, gets an easy sneak around. The timing is crucial here. He waits for other people to mat out so that individual has a certain sight line. The RPG by Cartier over here. He's going to not build, make sure the other enemies cannot connect up, then build up afterwards to make sure he maximizes on that fall damage, which is genius because then they have free height and can focus on the rest of the game. When this game starts progressing as well, we have a lot of shots coming off. Both duos looking at different angles of the entire map, but supporting when possible. Not too much tunnel visioning happening with the RPG either. Cartier is very dynamic in terms of switching towards his combat shotgun and helping out there as well. The RPG is only coming out once a lot of builds have actually developed in the actual server. A nice quick split there for Rockets to make sure the pressure is always on, and now using those free range RPGs, which is really, really dope. Gets a lot of damage on the rest of the server rather than pressure on everyone else that's over there as well. Finally getting that big pop off on Ninja right here. Slacks going in. This kind of enabled him to have the rest of his game available. He sneaks in with a shadow and stays right next to his enemies. You can see there his crosshair positioning kind of baits out one shot going for the finish, but then waiting for his enemy to peek through and getting a big Elim off right there, making sure they have that box up. He's on point right here. Cross is going to start fighting BHEGS on height. BHEGS goes for a nice split here. We'll see it from the other angle. He builds up and kind of stays on a 50-50 spot, goes right, then gets that drop down on Cross, maximizing the time for the zone coming in and everything else in general as well near that end game.
Yeah, so that's crazy, and that is actually going to lead Slacks and Keys up into that top spot with 74 points. But man, there are so many names here. I mean, this is literally a who's who. Shio, this list of names is crazy.
Absolutely. BHEGS as well, who got that nice clinch at the end there as well, bumped them up all the way to 65 points over here. My bad, I was standing in the way there. Zayt and Saf are also up here as well. They've qualled though. There are the top three who haven't yet, so it's going to be very exciting to see if they can hold up. Calc and Macwood were also up top near the beginning there as well. The point differential, 74 to 60. It's 14 now. That's almost, 2 big placement games. So some people are going ahead and leaving people behind in the dust, but these big clinches can shuffle things around, which is absolutely happening right now. A lot of people going top 5, bottom 5, top 5, bottom 5.
And I'm reading a lot of the social media comments and comments on Reddit. Specifically, a lot of people are getting excited about BHEGS and Heart because not only did they have a semi-performance that was historic in terms of winning 4 games in a row, but they're doing it again here today. They have an average placement of something like 7. So that's ridiculous, and it's still shaping up. We've got about half an hour to go still in the queues. But I mean, there's so much more to play, Shio. There's so many names on here that we know have the potential to move into New York.
Absolutely. That Dubs and Mega game all the way back when they popped off, got all the way up 2 big 20-point games. It can happen as well. We'll see what happens when we get into these games.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into the games. We're going to do just that. Back with Sundown and Zeke. Guys?
Thank you guys so much. Can we everyone collectively just take a moment.
Hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
And just appreciate that Shy was covering up the things and then took a step back and was like, oh, my bad, I'm covering up the stands. That was just the best thing ever. And when he said that and when he took the step back, everyone here laughed. You couldn't hear it, but it was just the most wonderful thing ever. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Send Shy Wager some love. He is the best, and it's so awesome to have him here. But more Fortnite action up on deck, Sundown.
Yeah, and actually, so I'm going to kind of blame production on that one. Just going to call it in my ear. He told him to take a step to his right. Stage direction.
Come on, Alex. Come on.
So you know what? Hashtag World Cup. Give all the love to Shy Wager and give all the hate to Alex Punch. He's on Twitter as well, but that was his fault. Not setting our boy up for success, but Shy Wager has been fantastic so far today. No hashtag blame punch. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give the love to Shy Wager, popping in, doing fantastic with his first breakdown in front of the screen, and now we're on board here with Niddle and Kasker, who got off to a really good start, but have kind of slowed down now, hanging out at 38 points. But again, anybody can pop off at any point in time. Right now, we've seen its lower 60s to get in 65 and 63 being the mark, which is with a bunch of people being in contention like they were just talking about. Dubs and Mega have popped off in the back-to-back 20s. Stompy and Tashinkin did it today. Anything is possible, but you need to do it now.
That's right. I mean, you still have time, right? It just takes
30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
game in one more.
Yeah, unless you're dropping for elims and you're dropping just bukus of them. In which case, I mean, I don't know how you're doing that.
We haven't seen that be successful. Like, generally, once it ends up going through, like, yes, some of those quote-unquote W key games, like, people can get, like, some efficiency out of them. But, 9 times out of 10, those pop-off games are when people are going for the hard super aggro, trying to burn a couple games, and then somebody else is winning all of those engagements and then gets the victory royale as well, a.k.a. Nate Hill and Funk Bomb, a.k.a. Dubs and Mega.
Yep.
Like, it is the prime example of it.
Yeah, man. And I'm just feeling, I guess the word would be bittersweet. Like, this is such a bittersweet ending to, everything. 10 weeks of this, and now this is the final 30 minutes here of
No such thing as bittersweet. This is all hype, baby. This is what it's about.
Wait, is
you can see it.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Well, we'll talk about this later. Anyway, yes.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna ask you a question. I feel dumb asking this on the air. This is just classic.
Is this the first time ever, or?
No, I'm just. This was a really dumb question. This is classic Zekeism. Anyway, who cares? Baldy Sama destroy here. They've got no eliminations up on deck right now, but that's okay. 35 players still in the lobby, plenty to feast on.
Hey, can we appreciate this tarping real quick?
Very good.
That was very precise. However, the only thing, like, yes, you have to tarp like that, but with the number of ballers rotating on the low ground, you aren't overly threatened, and you've just burned all but, no, now you're out of mats. So now you have 0 mats. So yes, you tarp to zone, but how much were you actually threatened now? As Macwood and Calculator up on a high ground fight with Casker and Niddle. Casker takes Calculator out, but Macwood then gets the return there. Calculator will end up going down. Macwood does catch himself. Player directly to his right is just going to disengage. That's how you do it. Down 1, over 1. Brilliantly done from Macwood to just get out of dodge, trying to keep his tournament hopes alive. You see him sitting on 61 points. Minigun going to work, but Macwood gets the 85 and then just leaves. Honestly, I would have stuck with that one, but now going to drop down and throw himself into the low ground. Only 4 more builds left. Needs to make a play. Instead gets lit up. No more builds left. And KD is going to take him down. That is huge.
But he was top 15, so that's okay. 3 points out of placement. That is going to make the difference later on. Now, let's watch this elimination be in the top left. Light up like a Christmas tree. Aroa is going to be eliminated now there. We're going to see this lobby get cut in pretty much half.
Pickaxe the ball.
Do it.
You can see him kind of going for it. Actually, not really. He's going for the shot, but the boost headed it out. But I'm telling you, go watch Creo's VODs. He does it fantastically. You will get elims off with that credit. That player does not deserve to just passively hang out there. There is something you can do to put him out there. The only thing you have to be careful of is if they drop out and hit you as you pickaxe. But that being said, give it a try sometime.
That's
maybe not in the
timing,
Fortnite World Cup when you're going through, if it's your last time tried it out. But if you're just in a regular arena game or a regular solo or duo, give it a go, as Davon and Fernando are going to look skyward. Another duo in contention, sitting at 52 points right now as Roat goes down to tendons. Owen gets picked out of the sky. These two skeet shooting their way through.
And now everyone is down below. We got a campfire going. Just make sure we keep topped off as best as possible. Top 10, another round of placement points, and they're just going to continue sending shots down below. They want more eliminations. They need more eliminations. We're so close. You see, look at this. Owen gets picked off. Kazbek gets picked off. Look at everyone else down below. Symmetrical, Psalm, Cowboy, Owl, Blue Tea, Rogue Shark, Threats. I mean, there's so many. You said it earlier, a who's who. But now, how do we attack this, right? The next threshold is top 5. Do you think these players have to go aggro? Do you think you have to lay it on the line? Unfortunately, Baldy, Sama, Blue Tea are picked up when I'm asking my question. It all ends for them. And don't forget, man, we still have the 30-minute queue time, and we're hopping into these games kind of like throughout. So for all we know, this game has already happened. You gotta hope they can go back in. Flossin! No!
V2 for the end. Everyone has a buddy. It's 4 duos riding it out. Kyle ends up getting taken down, so now we have 1 solo hanging out on the low ground. That's Ceza. Cowboy and Owl left. You have Psalm and Symmetrical on the mid tarp. Fernando on the high ground in the top right. Owl and Cowboy on the lower tarp in the bottom right hand. You can see that double ramp towards the side. There is a flip knock out in Cowboy's hands right now. Owl is looking for the side. Flip knock from Cowboy to get the side hop, going for the zone back. Fernando and Davon try and loop around. Cowboy does find the zone. Owl is still tracking the zone as well. Symmetrical goes to challenge. Owl picks someone up. Davon drops down and is putting the pressure onto Cowboy, and he finds that one. Will get the siphon. Owl gets the flank onto Davon, but Fernando covering him. I don't know if you were watching that on the wide side, but the way they covered each other's angles was so freaking good right there. Fernando and Davon, 8 elims, the victory route, 18 points. That'll rocket you up the standings, 62 for them.
I'm glad you called that out, because just the way they were like dissecting everyone left in that lobby, just tearing through all of them, forcing them into uncomfortable positions, you know, they were dictating the tempo of that game, and that's what led to the victory out for them. Massive props, but more action on deck. You got TSM Commandant and High Sky.
And shout out to Commandant right before this, was actually typing in his password and typed it in wrong too many times, so locked himself out of his account. we helped him out with that, and we got it resolved, but that was one of the funnier panic message I've ever received from a player. That was a very, very interesting one there.
If it's going to happen.
Account security first things first, and sometimes you fat finger a password 1, 2, 3, 7, 19 times, and then get locked out for a couple hours. But nothing doing there, sitting right around 50 points in contention. Glad you could get in the games now. Elixir and Maze, Billy going up on the side there. However, the rest of the lobby is looking towards them. Neff will get the conversion on that with some help from Isu. So, and Maze is just going to get whatever mats he can from that and pick his loadout. 63 effective HP, but does have all those minis now.
Yeah, but look at this. The lobby is turning on Nmaze. You saw the first Elim come through, and now everyone's like, okay, we know someone else is down low. They're probably in a tough spot right now. He's going to get a little breathing room, which is really going to make the difference. And now he's got to figure out what he needs to do to hit top 15. Those placement points are vital because they're sitting on no eliminations right now.
Yeah, you have to get to top 15. If you're in a match for this long, if you spend 15 plus minutes kind of in it, looting, getting in the late game, having a decent loadout in terms of weaponry, you have to make something happen out of it. Benny does get picked down there from Nmaze, so good shots going over with that epic AR and then able to cover himself up. But he needs to find a spot where he isn't being focused as much. He's burning so many of his key mats when he has no rotational tools, just trying to keep himself safe, which shouldn't be a priority right now. You should be safe.
You got TJ up above him, but now let's get a better lay of the land from down below. Look at all these players, Hornet, Tickers, just to name two very quickly. I want to see what their loadout looks like. What is going on with them? You've got Chug Splashes, you've got a single Shadow, a single Mini. You know, one of everything. Sure, why not? They also have the launch pad. Oh, okay. This is a little bit disastrous.
The launch pad into another launch pad. That's what he meant to do. Is the secondary launch pad. Going to go find Hornet right away, who qualified in week 9, was also a player who played in week 2 of the summer skirmish. Shout out to him. Was kind of a big jump starter for his competitive career going on there. But is a player who kind of really breaks it down analytically. He went through, looked at his point layout, saw like, hey, I wasn't getting enough from Elims. I need to go more aggressive. I have no problem with my placements, but I need to be throwing myself in the middle. And he wants to do that. He wants to put himself in the middle of the action, just like you see right here, getting aggro, getting the pickup on the WBG Blake, and then popping the Rift and out of dodge. Well done from Tickers and Hornets to get some control there, but now they need to be careful because they're drawing fire from TJ and COD Genesis.
Down below, you see High Sky right now going toe-to-toe with other people. Trev gets cracked. Beach there from Go Crazy gets destroyed. Look at all these players. It's still so tight. There's 33 players left right now, 20 duos, and we're in Storm Circle 7. This is easily one of the most dense lobbies we've had all day, and now Ticker's going to use that Shadow Bomb, start his rotations, and just try to link back up with Hornet.
And one thing I'm going to nitpick here on Tickers, pop your Shadow Bomb as late as possible, because the time you're in the air, that counts. So if you're falling...
Oh, the trap
player!
Oh my God!
Okay, Zeke, he was just busting his balls.
I'm going to get up and walk away.
Gets him so close to the top 15. A brilliantly done executed. That's what I'm talking about. Don't let him roll to the placement points. Go aggro on him. Hit some shots. You can take advantage of them if the players don't rotate correctly. And brilliantly done there. Top 15 now coming out. And Maze doing so well from the earlier situation we saw him in. He was pinned against the side of the mountain. Now into the top 15. Zeke, you talked about it. He was looking for those placement points. He got it. And 2 elims.
I mean, he's probably wants more, right? Every single interaction, we talk about this.
More.
You always want more, just like me. I always want more ice cream. But every interaction does matter. Everything that these players decide to do, everything that happens is going to affect the standings directly, right? Are you eliminated? Did you get shots over on the person? Did you confirm that person? Did you have to burn a slurp or rift early? Like, these are all going to make the difference. Look at this, a 3rd elimination, and he's pushing.
Ooh.
Oh my!
I thought it was just gonna crash.
Oh my God!
Call me Nostradamus right there as he got him. No way. Won't predict anything like that again. But Maze brilliantly job getting himself up to 40 points. Might not be necessarily in qualification range, but that is a nice bump in the payday for the double prize money week. Don't forget, $2 million spread all the way across all the regions and down a decent amount of the placements as well. We want to make sure everyone gets rewarded for their time and their effort over the course of these 10 weeks. You all are amazing. Whether you got to play on a Saturday, got to play on a Sunday, will be playing in New York City or whatever, we appreciate your time and your effort as we're into the top 10.
Mastoris picks up, especially coming out of NMaze. Again, Mastoris is a legend in the community, gets cracked. Scientist, downed as well to Erupt Void's duo. And
so that's Slades, and then the other one is Voids.
Okay, so yes. It's just so they're swapping names.
Yeah, super fun with that one. Definitely not confusing at all, as Tickers and Hornets are working top down. They're in your top right.
That was Diggy.
Not Orange got Diggy. He's in your bottom right, as Tickers finds Not Limes as well. Limes and Oranges, the fruit, are getting abandoned right now, as we have a straight up solos match, top 5, make it a top 4. Tickers on the high ground, Orange on the tarp beneath, Slades down there, and High Sky on the ultimate low ground. Voids, Slades goes to challenge Orange. Orange gets shots into him. Can he get the conversion? And he does. And gets zoned back. Tickers still up on ultimate high, but needs to be careful because Orange is putting shots at him. Drops directly in front of High Sky. Gets the 180 and finds it. The zone is full close. Tickers on the high ground. The chug splashes. Let it be known. Can he find the shot? He wants it, and he gets it as well. Gets the Elim credit. No, Hornet got it. It was his partner, so they will get the point. Pushes them up to 61. They're in contention. Man. They're in striking distance. And the chug splashes, again, changing those full circle close interactions. Balla, take it away.
We had one clutch play with the chug splash so far, and there another Tickers with his duo partner Hornet clutching up big in style with the new chug splash. We do have a update on actually what happened in Brazil. Shayo, it is the last chance that these players had to qualify, and they worked so hard. We had the look in, but we also have the players, I should say, the duo team who's going to make it to Brazil. Let's take a look at these standings.
Absolutely. So, up top, Own and King qualifying for duos. Okay, that is huge. King has been grinding a lot to get up top. There are multiple Kings up there, but he tried really hard in solos. I believe he qualified when Nyx qualified as well. Now he's up top, double qual for solos and duos. This is huge. Up top as well, though, Clipnode, who recently qualified for solos, came third, which is still a lot of prize money with that double up across the entire world. Nothing, No Name, also a dope solo player. These guys coming together, popping off. Big congratulations to him.
And the second duo, or the second double qualified player, Nyx, who's in 4th place right here, is double qualified in Brazil as well. So congratulations to X-Own and King from 9Z. He's going to be joining us, or these guys are going to be joining us in New York, and we cannot wait to see you. With that, let's go ahead and punch some tickets. Shayo, you're going to be taking the lead here on punching this ticket because this is your region. We talked to you a little bit about Brazil back before. We already punched the EU tickets. This is it right here. Magic hand. Boom.
Hey, no Lupo curse. Nice.
So congratulations to X-Own and King. We will see you guys in New York. But we will go ahead and take a quick break because when we come back, we have NA East to finish up and wrap up. So don't go anywhere.
To the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nums.
Burgers from dirt to munch.
Tacos Royale with brunch. Red juices, a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nums. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some love.
All right, Fortnite fam, we're here for week 9 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. And just like this Cuddle team leader, we are very excited to be here. The final week of solo competition. Hopefully these players can take a bite out of the competition and really keep it top notch. Codename Elf. Guys, are you ready for week 9, the finals day? Man,
I just had a whole bag of cookies.
A whole bag of cookies.
He's the yes man.
I'm so happy I don't have to be near Zeke for much longer.
We got some qualification. We got a dancing banana, too. I want to see Zeke wear that at some point during the World Cup.
Fortnite fam, you guys know I love it when you use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We actually have a social producer that helps sift through all the tweets and all the incredible things you guys send us, and his name is Nick Brown.
All right, guys, my name is Nick Brown, and for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers, I've been working as a social producer. So basically, every time any of the casters say use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, I'm the one who plays defense to make sure that none of those cheeky tweets with bad words end up on the big screen.
All right, Courage, let's go to the kitchen. Let's get ourselves some food.
What we got? Some garlic bread. Is that chicken parmesan? Oh my God, it's chicken parm! Yes! You okay? Do I need to put this one back? Bro, they put garlic bread in for me. You think I'm not gonna get 3 pieces? Come on.
What's up, Fortnite fam? It's Squints here, and recently we've been trying to level up the observing, so we challenge our observers to get cool, dynamic shots and keep them smooth and technically awesome. And let's share some of our favorite shots with you guys.
I can't imagine the weight that these competitors must feel on their shoulders.
Whoa, okay.
Wow.
Seems like the observers are having a little bit of a competition back there.
All right, observers, let's get it.
And then tried to challenge those fights, and that just freaked me out.
What? Speaking about something freaky.
There is Nick just above Chap's foot. Because apparently that's someone's name in Fortnite. You don't know about that, Jack? No. I mean, you really need to step up your competitive Fortnite knowledge. It's okay though. It's Chap's foot. Like physically, I hate you.
What's up? It's Monster D-Face.
What's up?
Yo, Monster. You know you're my favorite?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I told you were my favorite, would you believe me?
Probably not. We all know Sundown's his favorite dance. That's why, dude. Right there.
What?
Dude, it messes me up. You know, a lot of people ask me what the best part about replay is. It's got to be working next to GFX Becca.
People ask me all the time what the best part about being a graphics operator is.
Someone here specifically that keeps the ball rolling no matter what happens, and his name is Jordan.
What's up, Fortnite fam? My name's Jordan, and I am the production manager on the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. My job includes making sure the production happens smoothly, handling staffing, catering, any technical issues that may arise, making sure everyone else is doing their job.
He's really good at stuff.
We're on a break, and Jeff is going for the high score.
Oh my God.
That's really special. And he has the
Not for you.
To rain him down. I don't know if you realize it's completely uncontested. But
It's over. Week 9 is done. Goodbye. Oh, hey there. Sorry, I didn't load in quite fast enough. Hello, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. I'm Zeke, and we are knee-deep in NA East action. Now, the queues are done, so we're going to just take a little bit longer, wrap up, make sure everyone gets out of their games, make sure everything's good, get final standings, and, of course, punch some tickets. But first, what we need is, we need some casters. I'm feeling Pookie Face and Bala TW. That sounds pretty good. Let's go with that. I'm about that.
It's like you knew we were coming.
Whoa, don't call me out.
You knew that we were here. Zeke, you need to watch that little advertisement with the slurp juice and everything because you were lagged out in the lobby just then. You need to come right back to us.
Oh my God, Zeke.
Pookie. We've got 5 minutes left in the queue. Zeke is just causing havoc on the stage.
As per usual, Bala.
As per usual.
Oh
but
my gosh.
5 minutes left, NA East. This is the last opportunity.
Games in NA East, so this might be the last
was also pushing the pace, pushing the contention, trying to get towards the top of that leaderboard. And in reverse, trying to get to the top of the mountain.
And that platform edit being extremely strong, knowing that their builds were only attached by one small one-by-one and using it to actually take out an opponent. Now we have Liquid Vivid here with 72 hours. Both of them looking very good, sitting on, how much is that?
72 points. That's got to be a good omen.
It's got to be good. I mean, 72 hours, 72 points. What could go wrong? Now that we just said that, Bala.
Yeah, it's a curse.
Jeez.
It's a curse. But regardless, I mean, this team has been playing so crazy, both of them. We've seen clutch moments from Vivid. We've seen clutch moments from 72 Hours. Their utility usage is on point today. And really, what I've been seeing, I've been watching a little bit of 72 in the past couple of weeks. He's been just getting progressively better, both mentally and mechanically. He's just been absolutely dominating anytime he plays. Same thing with Vivid, although Vivid qualified in solos in week 1, so had a little bit of pressure relief from him. But right now, he is putting it all and making sure that he's going to bring 72 Hours to him, or with him, to New York. There you go, English,
Yeah.
easy.
Easy peasy. Now, just to your point, you know, with this being a 10-week online open qualifier, we have seen so many duos as well as solo players really improve over the course of 10 weeks. I think that's really been what's been the most exciting and interesting part to me, is seeing the progression, seeing the evolution of all of these players, and know that, you know, they've been putting in the hours, the practice, the scrims, the arenas. They've been working so hard to make it to New York. And like you said with 72 Hours, it's certainly paying off for him.
It's a combination of all sorts of practice types, arena, customs, pro customs, these games themselves, right? Every single weekend that we're playing, we're gaining more experience. As now players are moving in towards that 6th zone. Shadow Bomb's coming as well. He's going to get right back in with Vivid. The edit down from Vivid, because you can't actually edit while you're in Shadow form, so he's making sure that he's going to get safe in the box before he becomes apparent and visible to all the players around him again.
Yeah, and using that Shadow Bomb effectively to make sure that he did get in there to safety. He didn't have a ton of HP, but it isn't going to matter. He takes out Balti Sama there with the combat shotgun and is going to use another Shadow Bomb to rotate. Now, Vivid actually went over to his left and circled around. They were split for a little bit of time there, but it doesn't matter. Again, no edits there for 72, but he is going to be picked up by his teammate Vivid and is going to be able to shield up safely.
Getting ahead of the pack a little bit, Vivid is, as 72 Hours looks right back and knows that that path is ready for him to come with Vivid. That's a strategy that these duos are constantly using and pioneered by Zexro and Vinny themselves. These are the first people who really started to start pathing for each other, which is Zexro and Vinny pathing for each other, and then one player staying back. That's how they got those high elimination games around Winter Royale, TwitchCon, and the like.
Yeah, and just taking a look at all of the names in here, you know, we have Flossin, who unfortunately did just go down to Flux, Reverse UK, Ninja, Vivid, 72 Hours, Zexro, and Vinny. This is a huge lobby, but players are dropping so quickly. We only have 11 players remaining, 8 duos in total. Zexro and Vinny looking very good here with their positioning. They have a ton of mats, a ton of utility. They're looking really good right now, Bala.
Looking really good. That's for sure. I saw Vivid go down in the feed, so looking for 72 Hours still. But Zexro just bringing the pressure right onto Reverse, knowing that he can capitalize on this elimination. And then Vinny also having the path still, knowing that he can get right back to his teammate. And with the good awareness to realize he's getting shot from above. Now going to take the slurps, take some time to realize the situation. They're in top 5 in terms of duos right now. So all the point thresholds are clear. He's going to take out Kwanzi and then Flex right in the corner. Perfect pinch there from Vinny and Zexro, and perfect opportunity to take that, but still getting pressured from all angles. Pookie.
Yeah, and they are on mid-ground right now. They are getting pressure, but it doesn't matter. It's like they're playing on a completely different level right now. Their awareness in these builds is absolutely incredible. They own everything here. So being able to utilize the edits to drop down and control mid-ground the way they are, it's almost like low ground, but you've got a little bit of wiggle room to work with.
A little bit of wiggle room to work with. We're coming in
whole face of that game, and he was then essentially off the low ground. Unfortunately for him, Winnie and Zexo were up there, and that was that.
And I've got to question whether that engagement is really going to mean one of those duos is going to qualify versus the other. Right? It comes down to 4 points. Left actually 5 points for 72 hours are left on the board there from that victory royale. Could have taken out Zexo and Vinny at the same time, but another thing is Zexo dealing with that tendonitis. He is not looking like he has any sort of issues today. He's been worried about his career, his future. For now, he's pushing his way, making sure he's playing through. And that's been something he's been dealing with. But we also just saw Spike Vatson in the U qualify, and he is also dealing with that situation. He actually posted a long-winded explanation about his confidence, his tendonitis issues, and how it led up from week 1 all the way up to week 10.
And I mean, you know what? Today is game day ball. So these guys know the general has to be to the wayside, might not even be at the forefront of his mind. He's trying to get as many games in as he can, play as hard as he can so that he can get that spot in the North. But he wants to duos remaining. I mean, I think solo players here are going to have to see how this shakes out. I love getting into these endgame situations, but let's just see duels arrive, and just like that, Kangfire Moth goes down to Polo King, just absolutely not aware that both of these players were in the box right below him.
I almost felt like he was a little too overconfident. Maybe seeing that they're there, seeing that they're taking his role, seeing that they're approaching his stairs, and not really caring and saying, hey, I'm going to still challenge this. I want to make sure that I have this space.
Up at the top, here we have Outlet and Taking Red up there on high ground. Outlet using the combat shotgun there to try and take his heart through the smoke, but is able to play for this high ground up the side of this mountain. Now, he does have a ton of materials, and you can see, and you've seen time and time again how quickly those go when you are having to traverse these very huge terrains. He's taking shots down below him, and his health is covered above him, so he is very, very safe right now. Taking is actually behind him, also doing a little bit of work, trying to get some shots in on other players, so they're in a good position right now.
Closed now for NA East. The 5-minute timer that we talked about earlier is definitely closed up, and now they're getting right into the victory phase, here to take out Hope and his duo. Right away, seeing the opportunity and seizing it.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know if you know this, Paula, but Outlet and I are actually very good friends, and he carries me so many times. So seeing him play like this gives me confidence, and I know that I'm going to have my wins tonight.
Presenting himself just yet, but Demo's looking in fourth.